Fever die! Bow, bow, bow! But also, let's take a moment for KK, okay? She's that moment today. She's that girl always. Thank you. No cheat. Let the light get the nice little dog.
Picture this. The Chicago Sky goes all out for their biggest Barbie night ever. Pink everywhere, fans buzzing, and Angel Reese at the center of the hype. But there's one major problem. Angel Reese isn't even playing. And what happens next? The Indiana Fever walks into the United Center and hands Chicago their third straight loss. In brutal fashion, final score, 93-78. A complete beatdown on Chicago's turf in their special arena for their special night. Fans weren't calling it Barbie night anymore. They were calling it Fever night. And get this, Caitlin Clark didn't even play. Instead, Kelsey Mitchell dropped a season-high 35 points, proving that this so-called rivalry, yeah, it's nothing but media hype. The Fever are simply on another level.so. What's got Caitlin Clark?
Indiana Fever walk in to Chicago, the United Center, no Caitlin Clark, and they walk out with a W 93-78.
The media wants you to believe this is the greatest rivalry in women's basketball history. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. Two sophomores turned superstars, locked in battle every time they share the court. ESPN hypes it. Social media eats it up. They sell it like it's Magic versus Bird all over again, Iowa versus LSU, Indiana versus Chicago, Rookie of the Year drama. It's the perfect headline. But here's the truth they're not telling you. It's not a rivalry when one side keeps losing.
Let's go. Yep. Get that. Be able to sit. The really good thing about having quality depth is when you don't have it, somebody else does. And KK? Yeah! Way to step up. Chloe, great job coming in. Great job. Lex, way to come in and make an impact. Kels, just
Here's what nobody talks about once the cameras stop rolling. The so-called rivalry between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky? Yeah, the numbers tell a very different story. Indiana has dominated Chicago in 6 of their last 7 matchups, but that's not a rivalry. That's a one-sided beatdown. Repeated. Relentless. Systematic. Let's break down this season alone. The Fever have now swept the Sky 3 straight times, outscoring them by a staggering 77 points combined. Think about that. 77 points. That's more than an entire game's worth of scoring. Across just 3 matchups. Game 1, Indiana obliterated them by 35.
This is absolutely a one-sided rivalry. And we've got to say it like it is. Like, we can't say Caitlin needs to do this, Caitlin needs to do that. Let's be real. The only reason this is still a rivalry is because the other side of the rivalry won't stop it. And by the way, it is extremely beneficial for Angel Reese to be in this rivalry.
The media keeps hyping up this so-called rivalry because it grabs attention. 2 rising stars, opposite styles, clashing personalities. But if you actually watch the games and check the box scores, the reality tells a different story. One team consistently dominates, and it's not Chicago. What happened at the United Center was flat-out embarrassing for the Sky. Even without Caitlin Clark on the floor, the Fever walked in and dismantled them on their biggest marketing night of the year. The Sky went all out with a Barbie-themed event built around Angel Reese, packed the arena, and still got blown out by a shorthand Indiana squad. The hype? Totally one.
This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily.
What does this one-sided record really tell us? It shows that one franchise is building a future, while the other keeps throwing events and hoping the outcome changes. The Fever have beaten Chicago in every way imaginable, with Caitlin Clark, without her, at home, on the road, during regular matchups, and even on themed nights designed to spotlight Angel Reese. This isn't a rivalry between Clark and Reese. It's Indiana using Chicago for target practice. The Sky keep handing them the stage, and the Fever keep using it to flex their dominance. Chicago scheduled another high-profile game at the United Center, rolled out another flashy theme night, and still got humiliated. That's not a back-and-forth battle.
It's the Kelsey Mitchell Show here in Chicago. Mitchell into the paint, able to lay it in. To Mitchell, she'll fire. You bet. Deflected, gets it back, and hits from three. See Mitchell for 7-3 of the day.
Kelsey Mitchell walked into the United Center knowing the pressure was on, no Caitlin Clark, and the scoring burden squarely on her shoulders. A steady force all season, the veteran guard delivered a performance that etched her name into Fever history. Mitchell erupted for a season-high 35 points, shooting a blazing 12 of 19 from the field and hitting 7-10 from three-point range. That's 70% from deep in a game where her team needed every bucket. When the spotlight was brightest, Mitchell didn't just step up, she took over.
Money Mitch put him in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Kelsey Money Mitchell erupted today. Michaela Timpson continues to show every time you put her in the game, every time you give her some actual quality minutes, she will not disappoint.
Here's where it gets truly special. Mitchell didn't just light up the scoreboard. She made franchise history while doing it. She joined Caitlin Clark as the only players in Indiana Fever history to post at least 35 points, 5 assists, and 5 made three-pointers in a single game. That's an elite club with just 2 members. And Mitchell punched her ticket on Barbie night in Chicago under the brightest lights. A historic performance on a night bill for someone else.
On 6 of 10 shooting in the corner, Mitchell connects on a 3. Indiana needed that. It's a 2-point game. There's a chance that gets changed to a 3. Mitchell looking to respond, and does. Things tightening at United Center. Mitchell has it deflected, gets it back, and hits from 3.
Mitchell's off-season grind paid off in a big way. She trained with a football coach, focusing on defensive back drills to sharpen her footwork and lateral quickness. Those angles, those cuts, they weren't just practice representatives. They showed up when it mattered most. Against Chicago's defense, she got to her spots with precision. Every shot looked effortless. Every move was fluid. Her preparation turned into execution, and it was on full display.
Indiana run after Chicago had cut it to 2. Poked away by Timpson. There's the deflection. Off to the races. Timpson finishes strong, forcing a timeout from Chicago. A 9-0 Indiana run, and the lead is back to 11.
Michaela Timpson, the rookie, all season long, when she's gotten minutes here and there, has made the most of them. We've seen it on the offensive end. Then here, just getting her arms in the passing lane, the deflection, finishing a tough look.
But Mitchell wasn't the only one putting on a show. Michaela Timpson stepped up with the best performance of her young career, pouring in 14 points on an impressive 6 of 8 shooting. That's 75% from the field when the pressure were highest. After the game, Mitchell had high praise for Timpson, calling her the ultimate pro and applauding her constant readiness. Timpson brings a quiet confidence to the court, the kind that doesn't make noise until it matters most.
How have you seen her improve and become more comfortable throughout this season?
She's amazing. One of the best rookies I think I've ever come across of. She's I don't know how to say it, like the ultimate pro. Shows up, no problems, and I think when you have locker room culture happening, you need great people to make it greater, and I think we got a good addition here, so shout out to KK.
The newest addition to the Fever wasted no time making her presence felt. Chloe BBY, signed to a 7-day contract on July 25th, scored 8 points in just 10 minutes of action, an immediate spark off the bench. Coach Stephanie White praised BBY's ability to stretch the floor and open up space for Aliyah Boston, exactly the kind of impact you hope for from a fresh signing. Instant offense, smart spacing, and a seamless fit right out of the gate.
Hull gives it up. Chloe Bibby able to drain the 3. Recently signed
when they play Indiana.
And right now, Cardoso answering the bell really nicely. 12 points, 7 rebounds. Bibby again. How about the stroke of Chloe Bibby?
And then there's Aliyah Boston, quietly dominant once again. She recorded a third straight double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds, but her impact reached far beyond the stat sheet. Boston added 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks, influencing every possession on both ends of the floor. Chicago had no answer for her versatility poise, and complete control of the game.
Cardoso running the floor. Gets denied by Boston, returning the favor. Boston finds the cutter. It's Timpson who lays it in. That ends the 11-0 run. Here's Mitchell. Slips it in, wide open Boston. Tracks it back down. Off to Boston. Backdoor, Mitchell the cut, and the finish. Tough bucket from Kelsey.
Lexi Hull delivered in the clutch, knocking down key shots every time the Sky tried to spark a run. Her timing and shot selection were flawless, shutting down Chicago's momentum and igniting the visiting Fever fans, especially with tough, high-pressure makes that capped off a huge third quarter. Here's Mitchell, now with 15 in the quarter and a season-high 6 made threes.
Here's Mitchell, who has 15 in the quarter and a season-high 6 made threes. Hull will fire and hit at the horn. Big finish to the third from Indiana.
But here's where it all fell apart for Chicago. Angel Reese, the face of the Knights promotion, was sidelined with an injury, leaving the Sky without their star attraction on their own themed event. That opened the door for the Fever to crash the party in the most ruthless way possible, and Chicago never saw it coming. Social media lit up as the game unfolded, with fans watching in disbelief as the Sky got steamrolled on their own big night. Twitter users quickly dubbed it Fever Night instead of Barbie Night. The Instagram filled with memes showing rows of empty pink seats while Indiana fans celebrated. Over on TikTok, users mocked the promo campaign, with some joking the team should have rebranded it Mitchell Night after Kelsey's 35-point outburst. What was meant to be a celebration turned into a spectacle, just not the one Chicago planned.
500 points, becoming fastest Fever player ever to do so in a season. Ninth 30-point game, second most in Fever history.
Second game, girl.
And season high.
I knew it!
KK career high in points.
Yeah, baby, run.
AB 11 double-double the season.
Without their star player, the entire celebration fell flat. Fans showed up expecting an Angel Reese showcase, but instead, they watched the Fever take over from start to finish. The pink decor, meant to highlight a Chicago triumph, ended up serving as a backdrop for Indiana's complete domination. Let's be real, Reese or no Reese, the result likely wouldn't have changed. This had all the makings of a blowout either way. After the game, Coach Tyler Marsh didn't sugarcoat things. He sounded defeated, admitting that opposing teams have started to expose Chicago's glaring weaknesses. His frustration was clear as he pointed to a lack of execution and repeated,
"Check this out right here. Of course, this is supposed to be the arena that Angel Reese built, right? Question mark? Caitlin Clark right here signing autographs. Look at these fans. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously. This person over here, show us Barbie. Yeah, not lined up for Barbie. In Barbie's own arena. Glad to see Chicago giving Barbie a welcome to Sophie Cunningham."
Rachel Bam's post-game comments summed up the entire vibe of the team. She admitted they had a screw-it mentality heading into the game, a brutal reflection of where Chicago's confidence is right now. When your own players acknowledge a lack of mental preparation, that's not just concerning, it's alarming. This was the ultimate embarrassment, your biggest promotional night completely taken over by the visiting team. Fever fans filled entire sections, often outnumbering the Sky's own supporters. Indiana players were getting louder cheers than the home roster. The energy in the building felt more like a Fever home game than a Sky celebration. Fans on social media even renamed the event, and that new name stuck all night. What was supposed to be a moment for Chicago turned into Indiana's victory party. And nothing stings more than watching your own spotlight get hijacked by the other team.
I'm beginning to suspect the Indiana Fever are a better team than the Chicago Sky. Don't ask me why I believe that or think that. It's just a sneaking suspicion that I have. I mean, it could be the fact that the Fever spank them every time they play. Could be that. Maybe it's that. I mean, you can date back to last year, but this year, the Fever spanked the Sky in the season opener.
Chicago's most humiliating night just exposed an undeniable truth. The Indiana Fever aren't just beating the Sky. They're showing the entire league which franchise actually has a future. This wasn't just another win to check off the schedule. It was a statement about the direction both teams are headed in. While Chicago keeps booking high-profile games at venues like the United Center, wrapping them in themed nights and flashy promotions, Indiana keeps turning those moments into reminders of who's really in control. Every matchup ends the same. Another Fever win, another reality check for the Sky, and now it's 6 wins to 1 over the last 2 seasons. That's not a rivalry, that's a pattern. The Fever are building something real and sustainable. Meanwhile, Chicago seem to be clinging to hope that the marketing will outpace the basketball. Indiana now sits third in the Eastern Conference, just 2 games behind Atlanta, making legitimate playoff noise, whether Caitlin Clark is on the floor or not.
Here for Indiana. Now, one thing that we talked about the other day in New York, but you just have to appreciate about Caitlin Clark in these games, she knows a huge portion of these fans were hoping to see her play. And obviously they're not getting to, but she goes out of her way.
Here's where things get especially telling for Chicago fans. Caitlin Clark didn't play a single minute, yet she remained the center of attention all night. Sitting on the bench in street clothes, she signed over 200 autographs, many of them for Sky fans who came hoping to see her in action. That says everything about her star power and who the crowd really came to watch. Even from the sidelines, Clark commanded the spotlight and gave her teammates a boost of confidence just by being there. The Fever are taking a smart, patient approach to her return, making sure she gets the practice time needed to regain her rhythm and timing. The plan is to bring her back in the 3rd week of August, fully ready, fully locked in.
About the other day in New York when it was 108 autographs that she signed. Well, today signed over 200 autographs. Was out for a long period of time, signing for fan after fan. So trying to make sure, that she still is accessible to the fans here and helps create memories for so many of them. Here was Caitlin continuing to sign.
Here's why this win matters so much. The Fever just proved they're far more than asterisk Caitlin Clark and company to asterisk Mitchell's 35-point explosion, Timpson's breakout performance, BBY's perfect debut, Boston's 3rd consecutive double-double, and the clutch shooting from Hull Cunningham on any given night. This is a team with real, dangerous depth. When the full rotation is healthy and locked in, Indiana can go toe-to-toe with anyone in the league. Now compare that to Chicago. With this latest loss, the Sky dropped to 7-18, extending their losing streak to 5 games. Their playoff hopes are all but gone, and their rebuild still feels directionless. The chemistry is inconsistent, the game plans aren't sticking, and the results speak for themselves. Meanwhile, the Fever are trending in the opposite direction. They've learned how to win without Clark, gained confidence in their depth, and shown they can deliver in pressure moments. When Clark returns healthy for the final stretch of the season.
In the past, but one thing I have loved is that even though she's rehabbing and she wants to make sure she has access to the full artillery here of support for her rehab, look how happy the Blues are waiting to get an autograph from Caitlin Clark. And she has done this, even in a Cardoso jersey, she's done this ahead of every game, even while she's been out. And that's been really special to witness and special to see. She's crying. This is what I'm talking about. It's all right. Let it out. It's an exciting moment. WNBA Countdown. We'll be right back.
Caitlin Clark owned the night, without even checking into the game. She spent 20 minutes before tip-off signing autographs for hundreds of Chicago fans, circling nearly 2/3 of the United Center, even as security tried to move her along. That's not manufactured hype. That's real star power. With this win, the Fever improved to 14-12, holding 3rd place in the Eastern Conference and sitting just 2 games behind Atlanta. And they are building serious playoff momentum, all without their biggest star on the court. Indiana is being smart with Clark's return, making sure she has enough practice time to fully regain her rhythm. But once she's back, this confident and battle-tested Fever squad becomes a serious threat for the rest of 2025. If you're backing the Fever, drop a asterisk, fired up asterisk in the comments. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on your screen now, and we'll see you in the next one.